Stand பண்ணு.
अग्रे वह्नि पृष्ठे भानुः रात्रौ शुभुकसमर्पितजानुः करतलभिक्षस्तरुतलवासः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापाशः कुरुते गङ्गा सागरगमनं वृथ परिपालनमथवा दानम् ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वमतेन मुक्तिं न भजति जन्मशतेन सुरमन्दिरतरुमूलनिवासः शय्या भूतलमजिनं वासः सर्वपरिग्रहभोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा संगरतो वा संगविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव भगवद्गीता किञ्चिदधीता गंगा जललवकणिका पीता सगृधपि येन मुरारि समर्चा क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा
Verse number 18 that we study. The proof of renunciation is happiness, being blissful. The proof of renunciation is bliss, is being happy. If renunciation is resulting in sadness and misery, then that person has not really, then that person has not really renounced anything. Will not renunciation make him happy? The answer is yes. Renunciation alone will make him happy. What is renunciation? The meaning of renunciation is a vow that you will not commit sin again. That is renunciation. Renunciation means a commitment, a vow, a pratignya that you will not sin anymore. That's what renunciation is. The misunderstanding of renunciation is you have to give up something, you give up. Something you give up, something you give up. But then you cannot, but then when the mind gives up something, simultaneously it picks up something else also. This dropping and picking is mind. When the mind is dropping something, if you can penetrate little bit into that person is picking up something else. If you can see somebody picking up something, if you penetrate enough, you will see that person is dropping of something else. So this picking, dropping is the nature of the mind. What is renunciation? You take a vow that you are going to stop this practice of picking, dropping. This is vairagya, this is renunciation. Will this not make a person happy? Answer is, this alone will make a person happy. So, when you look at yourself, from the angle of you dropping something, you think you are a person of renunciation. Because you look at yourself dropping something. When you see yourself dropping something from that angle, you look like you are a person of renunciation. But what you don't see is in the dropping, you are picking up something else. And carefully follow. When you pick up something, you pick up something at the same level. You don't pick up something higher and all. This picking and dropping doesn't happen between higher and lower. Picking and dropping always happens at the same level. That's why the person says, Sir, I have left the family and I have picked up God. It's higher and lower, no? And the answer is no. You have not picked up anything higher because it's still in your mind, it is still at the same level. Somebody in the textbook is saying it is higher. The textbook is calling it as higher. Somebody is calling it as higher. But in your head, you are picking up something at the same. You are picking up something at that same level only. How do we say that you are picking up something at the same level? Because that which you have picked up is not giving you joy. That which you have picked up is giving you the same agony, the same misery, the same suffering, the same restlessness. What have you dropped and what have you picked up? This is the classic understanding that you should have about renunciation. Will not renunciation bring happiness? Venkat, இது நம்ம class தானே? I'm thinking this is our class only. No. Yeah. Suddenly I started talking, no questions, nothing is there distracting. So I'm thinking, what is happening now? So all of a sudden I remembered that. It's our class only, no? Picking, dropping. Picking, dropping. You pick up something and you drop something. You pick up something and you drop something. This picking and dropping is not renunciation. You pick up something with some hope, and when that hope gets devastated, you drop it. And then you pick up something else with the same hope. This is not renunciation. This is the game of the mind. You pick up something with the hope of happiness. You get devastated. You drop it. But then you pick up something else because the hope now has shifted to the hope. The hope has shifted to the new thing now. This picking and dropping, people misunderstand it as renunciation, for which he is saying no. You cannot get rid of it through indulgences. You cannot get rid of it through abstinence. The sequence. Remember the sequence. You cannot get rid of desires through abstinence. You cannot get rid of desires through indulgences. You cannot get rid of it. Indulgences means unintelligent contact. Abstinence means unintelligent running away. Both unintelligent. The third is mechanical practices. So, unintelligent contact will not help. Unintelligent running away will not help. Mechanical practices will not help. Then what will help? Whatever he is saying is what is going to, is what is the actual help is. Suramandira Darumula Nivasaha, Shayya Bhutala Majanam Vasaha. All that we have been, all that I'm not going into the details of the verses. The gist of the verse, the message of the verse is this. Renunciation alone gives happiness because you dropped the habit of picking and dropping. Because you have dropped that habit of picking and dropping, you are in bliss. But the human mind goes on finding excuses to pick up something and to drop something. You will have an excuse to pick up something and you will have an excuse to drop it also. That which you picked up, when you have enough reasons to justify to pick up, same mind will give enough justification to drop it also. This is the most wonderful, deadly quality of the mind. The mind that convinces you 100 reasons to pick it up as right, the same mind will give 100 reasons how you are right in dropping it also. Nevertheless, you are continuing in the same cycle. So, renunciation or growth is measured by what? Renunciation or growth is measured by only one thing. What? Bliss. You are in, you are in, you are in bliss. The proof of renunciation is bliss. The proof of renunciation is being joyful. That's where we will never paint a person of renunciation as a sad person. A person of renunciation is always depicted joyful, happy. And all our renunciation will result in sadness and misery, and we don't want to let go of anything also. We don't want to let go of anything. At the same time, we want to drop something. We are in such a confusion. Therefore, he says, if the renouncer seems unhappy, then it is not true renunciation. This is verse number 18. Now we will move on to verse number 19. Verse number 19, buddy.
योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव.
Reveling in spiritual discipline or sense enjoyment, reveling in company or without company, he whose mind rests in Brahman, reality, is happy, happy, indeed happy. Reveling in spiritual discipline or sense enjoyment, reveling in company or without company, he whose mind rests in Brahman, reality, is happy, is indeed happy. A very famous Bhaja Govindam verse. Everybody will quote this verse. Yoga ratova, bhoga ratova. You can be in yoga or you can be in bhoga. If you are in bhoga, you will be diseased. If you are in bhoga, you will be happy. Full stop. That is for the sadhana. Now he is talking about a person who has mastered renunciation and transcended. They will follow. Who he is talking about here? Here he is not talking about a sadhana. Here he is talking about a person who has a privilege. A person who has the privilege that he is talking about. Who has this privilege? In Sanskrit, it's called, there are this category of people where it is called Vidhi Nisheda. Vidhi Nisheda means even Vedas will be scared to prescribe rules to this person. Vidhi Nisheda. So, Vidhi Nisheda. Vidhi Nisheda means even the Vedas will be scared to prescribe code of conduct, rules and regulations for this person. Why? Because he has transcended the Vedas. The Vedas themselves bow down to this person. When the Vedas themselves are bowing down to this person, what rules and regulations can bind him? He is given an absolute freedom. That absolute freedom person in yoga or in bhoga, externally, internally, he remains the same. So he may be in bhoga externally, he may be in yoga externally, but internally he remains the same. Panchadashi, one of the introductory textbooks to Vedanta. I don't know. Every book we keep saying introduction to Vedanta only. I don't know what is the original Vedanta book only, isn't it? Bhaja Govindam is introduction, Atma Bodha is introduction, Viveka Chudaman introduction, Panchadasi is introduction, Bhagavad Gita also introduction. I don't know what is true, where, when are you even going to study the proper Vedanta book? Panchadasi, another beautiful introductory textbook to Vedanta. In that Panchadasi, he elaborates the freedom that this person experiences. Yogaratova, Bhogaratova. What is the freedom of this person? He can kill parents, killing parents. Killing newborn children, killing parents, killing newborn children. These kind of Gora karma also will not affect these people. Problem where it became the problem is whoever read it, they started assuming they are that. Whoever read it, they assumed that they are that, and they started doing all kinds of things. That's where you find yeah, number of politicians in prison versus number of spiritual people in prison. Who is more? Anybody? Who is more? The number of so-called spiritual persons are in prison more than the so-called politicians. Why? Because they read these few things and they think they are above, and they think they are above law. They can do anything and everything. No, no, no. This Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, and all is restricted, is a privilege given to the one. Why that privilege is given to that one? Because this enlightened one, a man of renunciation, is they will be always ever just, good and noble. They will be always dharmic. Again, I repeat, this privilege is given to these few people because of the conviction. What is the conviction? They will be always dharmic, good and noble. So they will just, good and noble. They will follow. Therefore, these people are given this absolute freedom. If I take the knife and touch your body with that knife, what happens? When I go to the doctor, I pay him to take the knife and cut open my body. No, that privilege is given only to whom? That privilege cannot be given to everybody. Anybody and everybody cannot be given the knife and say cut open. Amit, correct? No, you are going to the proper doctor only. I know that's why, huh? Isn't it? Only that fellow can take up the knife and cut open. Oh, I have also Googled and read it. Yeah. I have also Googled and read it, and I have also read 10 books. Now I am also qualified to take the knife and start operating. Now you will be imprisoned for attempt to murder, isn't it? You will be imprisoned for attempt to murder. You will be imprisoned. Why? Because it's a privilege. It's a privilege, isn't it? Similarly, another example. When will the parent, without fear, hand over the credit card to their children? When will they hand over? Are you able to follow? When will they hand over the credit card to the children? Only when they understand that, only when the conviction has come. What is the conviction? The input will be more than what they can take out. When they know that they can bring in more than what they can take out, that privilege will be given, isn't it? Otherwise, till that time it will be, till the time it will be regulated only. But mind doesn't like regulation. Mind will say when he is doing it, why can't? When he is doing it, why can't I do that? When he is doing it, why can't I do that? It will not work out, isn't it? All along, if you have played cricket only in tennis ball, street cricket, which is not cricket at all, isn't it? You go into the proper cricket match, you will feel the pad and the glove and all is so unnecessary accessory. You know that, no? At least I felt like that very first time. Without all this only you can play. No, what can you play without all that? You will first ball you will be in ICU, isn't it? First ball you will be in ICU. Why? Because it is something that is, it's a discipline is a protection till you gain this privilege. All along, he is talking about the disciplines for 4 verses. Now he is talking about the rare one who has this privilege. And this privilege is the motivation for the seekers. This privilege becomes the motivation for the seekers. At least I thought like that. Imagine you can do whatever you want and you can get away with it. What a freedom it is. You can do yoga ratova, bhoga ratova. You can be in yoga. You can be. I'll explain what is yoga, what is bhoga, and all that. The law says you can do anything and you can get away with it. What an absolute freedom it is, and how dangerous it is. Is it dangerous or freedom? For 99.9999%, it is dangerous. Therefore, disciplines and dharma alone works. For that people who have transcended all this, a rare privilege. What is the rare privilege they get it? Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, Sangaratova, Sangavihina, all that. Now we'll come to the actual verse. What is the privilege that he has gotten? The privilege that he has gotten is this. He doesn't know Brahman, he has become Brahman. That's the privilege. The privilege is he doesn't know Brahman, he has become. One doesn't know Brahman, one has become Brahman. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. The Mundaka says it very beautifully. The only way to know Brahman is by becoming it. Now, that very state of realization of Brahman, all scriptures glorify it. Bhaja Govindam has its unique way of glorification. Yoga ratova, bhoga ratova. You can be in yoga, you can be in bhoga. So people say, oh, all that you need is what? As long as you are objective, you can do anything and everything. You can be in yoga, you can be in bhoga, as long as you are objective. That is false. That is absolutely wrong. Till you attain moksha, till you have attained the state of Brahman, you have to follow what? You need to follow tapas, discipline, not objectivity. Learn to practice tapas, not to practice objectivity. For objectivity is a practice for an objectivity is a very highly evolved person's natural state. At your level, at our level, what should be practiced? Tapas and dharma has to be practiced. But when you talk about tapas and what is the other thing I said? Tapas and dharma. When you talk about tapas and dharma, the class will become empty. Because nobody wants tapas and dharma. Everybody wants straight away how to be, straight away how to get there. No. We are glorifying the rare one who has reached this privilege. What is that privilege that he experiences? Nasti buddhira yuktasya, nachayuktasya bhavana, nachabhavayata shantihi, ashantasya kutasukam. Sita prajna. And when we are doing Sita prajna, he said it very beautifully. Ashantasya kutasukam. Nachabhavayata shantihi, ashantasya kutasukam. There is no knowledge of self that is possible to the one who is unsteady. If you are unsteady, there is no knowledge of Brahman possible. To the unsteady, no focus is possible. When you are not able to focus, no peace, no, how can you be happy? Therefore, here he is saying, Yogaratova, Bogaratova. You do that practice, you do that practice. What is that practice? The practice of dharma and tapas. You will enjoy a rare privilege. What is a rare privilege that you enjoy? You can be in yoga, you can be in bhoga. A rare privilege. Mundaka Upanishad takes it so beautifully to the next level. We are going to study Mundaka Upanishad now. இதெல்லாம் இப்போ படிக்க மாட்டோம். Season 2ல தான் இதெல்லாம் வரும். Season 1 Mundaka only we are going to do now. Season 2 Mundaka we will do something else. In that Season 2 Mundaka, if we do, there he says it very beautifully. Tarati shokam tarati papmanam. Tarati shokam tarati papmanam. He crosses grief. He crosses sin. He being free from everything becomes immortal. That immortal person, yogaratova, bogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina. That immortal person can be in yoga, can be in boga. A very beautiful state of human, a very beautiful state of the highest possible human attainment, where your dharma and your tapas and your goodness is so much that nothing bad can come out of you. That's what it means. Your dharma, your tapas is so much, you have it in abundance. Therefore, nothing harmful can come out of it. That's what it means by saying they have the rare privilege. They have the rare privilege. What is that rare privilege they have? The tapas and the dharmic life they have led is so much that nothing harmful can come out of them. That's where even killing the parents will be of some good to them only. That doesn't mean anybody and everybody can do that, isn't it? I will not dare think like that even 1 second. Why will I don't want that karma for me. Why will I even think like? But he is saying these people have that rare. These people have that rare privilege. What is a rare privilege? Because they are so disciplined already, because they are so soaked in dharma already, because they are so soaked in tapas already, nothing harm can come out of them. No harm can come out of them. Are you able to follow how they reach that state? They reach that state because no harm can come out of them. Why no harm can come out of them? A life of supreme sacrifice. What is the life of supreme sacrifice? When you have the courage to sacrifice your ego. When you have the courage to sacrifice your ego is the supreme sacrifice that you can make. And these people made that sacrifice of their ego. Those who have sacrificed their ego will have that privilege. What? They can never do anything for themselves. They can never ever do anything for themselves. So whatsoever they do, it will be beneficial to the other, even if it means killing. That's where in third chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Arjuna asks, Gora karma. How can you? Why are you asking me to do this? Gora karma. Ghoram, you understand, no? Yeah. Vikaram. Yeah. Ghoram means vikaram. So, ரொம்ப தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா அசிங்கம் கூடாது, isn't it? Ghoram means, yeah. Ghoram means it is ugly. It is detrimental. It's an ugly, detrimental thing. Okay, 13 years I thought I should do that. Now that I have become wise, why should I do this Gora karma is Arjuna's question. Are you able to follow? Now, okay, I thought about it for 13 years. So what? I thought about it for 13 years. I didn't know that I was thinking about doing the wrong thing. Now that I have understood that it is a wrong thing, why are you still forcing me to do this Gora karma? Isn't it? It is Gora. Tapas is not done. Terrible it is. It's terrible. It's terrible. Only a person of Krishna's caliber can give an answer. Though killing, you will not incur sin. Only he can give that answer. Nobody else can give that. Everybody else can memorize and repeat that answer. That's what I'm doing. Huh? I have memorized that answer and I'm repeating that answer here. But I will never, I don't know whether I will have the courage to give that answer. But he has that courage to give that answer. Though killing, you will not incur. Though killing, you will not incur sin, Arjuna. It means either he's absolutely deluded, not knowing what he is talking, or he's saying something very profound and meaningful. And we always give the benefit of doubt to the second. He's saying something that is very meaningful and so profound. Why? Because they are soaked in their goodness so much, even the Gora karma they do also is beneficial to the other. Even from outside, if it looks like a terrible act, even from outside, if it looks like a Gora karma, and Panchadasi lists out the Gora karma. And I gave only 2 examples. I didn't give the full list of the Gora karma. I gave only 2. What is it? Killing the you can murder your parents, murder the newborns, isn't it? Murder the parents, murder the newborns. How can you do all that? Who will give you who gives you the privilege to even think that you can violate dharma? Who gives you the privilege to think that? Yeah, out of ignorance, you may think that you are not bound by any rules, and out of ignorance and ego, you may think like that. But here he's talking about a state. What is that state? A person who has reached that highest state of experiencing a privilege. What is that privilege? Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangha vihina. This verse is attributed to Anandagiri. This verse is attributed to Anandagiri. And we borrow a lot not from Adi Shankaracharya, because what Adi Shankara is saying is completely bouncer mari talik mela dhan porudu, isn't it? Not even bouncer it is. Pitch la bounce ayi side screen la dhan poi hit the ball. It doesn't even touch the ground. Shankara talks like that. Upanishads, yeah, Amala Upanishad category, isn't it? All of us sitting here, Upanishad category. For us, Upanishad is out of syllabus. Anandagiri is such a prolific person. What he has done is, he has written lot of tikas. Tika na Bhashyamuku or commentary. Yeah. First is Bhashyam. Okay, Moolam. Moolam means original text. For that original text, you write that original text can be written in two ways. One is a free-flowing commentary. Another is Bhashyam. Like what we study with Swamiji's things and all is not Bhashyam. It's a free-flowing commentary. That is one style where the gist of the Moolam is explained. That's all. Not everything is explained. Carefully follow the difference. Not each and everything will be explained. The gist alone will be explained is one set. That is very useful to start with. And then once you have studied that, then you graduate to the next, Bhashyam. What is Bhashyam? Where you take each and every word and study it. Where you take each and every word and study it. Not only you take each and every word, you study how that word is interpreted by others, you study that also. Find the fallacy in that, expose the fallacy, establish the logic here. Oh my God, that's where they say don't go into Bhashya study. You go into Bhashya study, you will come out mad only. And Shankara wrote Bhashyas. Too much to follow that. I tell you, it's too much to follow because he simply says, and his Bhashyas are so beautiful because from the other schools of thought, they may not agree with Shankara's conclusion, but they all have a tremendous respect for Adi Shankara because they all say the way in which he has summarized our school of thought, we ourselves couldn't do. You go to Nyaya, you go to Visishta Dvaita, you go to Dvaita, the way that he has captured their philosophy in essence and then exposed to the limitation of it. Bhashya does it so beautifully. And that Bhashyam is too complicated. And then Sureshwaracharya writes explanatory notes to Bhashyam. To that explanatory notes that is written to Bhashyam, Anandagiri writes a lot of அதுக்கும் கீழே ஒண்ணு இருக்குது. அதுக்கு பேர் டிப்பனி. மூலம், பாஷ்யம், டீகா, டிப்பனி, அப்புறம் சாட்டர்டே ஸ்டடி கிளாஸ். சாட்டர்டே பஜகோவிந்தம் ஸ்டடி கிளாஸ். இது எந்த கேட்டகரியில வருதுன்னே தெரியல. மூலம், மூலம், பாஷ்யம், டீகா, டிப்பனி, அப்புறம் நம்ம ஸ்டடி கிளாஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் செல்ஃப் ஸ்டடி. அது என்னவோ தெரியல. வாட் இஸ் தட் செல்ஃப் ஸ்டடி? காட் ஓன்லி நோஸ் வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் தட். வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் தட் செல்ஃப் ஸ்டடி? காட் ஓன்லி நோஸ். Anandagiri writes a lot of beautiful notes on these, which we borrow a lot. Most of our concepts and the words we borrow not from Shankara a lot. Even though generally we say Shankara, 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 it is like whatever the disciple says, it will be attributed to the Guru. This is the traditional Vedantic method. The traditional Oriental method is whatever the disciple says, the credit will go to the Guru only. He will not say, I said it, because whatsoever he says is blessed by the Guru. Because who's the inspiration, who's the motivation, who's the energizing factor? The Guru. Therefore, the entire credit goes to the Guru. Therefore, we say Shankara, Shankara, Shankara. But actually speaking, we borrow a lot from Sureshwaracharya, this person, Anandagiri, Vidyaranya. These are all the people that we follow, that we borrow a lot because they standardized certain terminologies, they gave certain beautiful definitions, explanations, and all. This person, Anandagiri, writes this beautiful verse: Yogarato va, Bhogarato va, Sangarato va, Sangha Vihinaha. Now, what is he saying? Now we'll move on to the verse. இவ்வளவு கதை சொல்லிட்டு தான் வருஷத்துக்கே போறோம் இல்லையா? With all the stories, we are just entering the verse. योग रतः अथवा भोग रतः, संग रतः अथवा संग विहीनः. Va means अथवा படிக்கணும். But we don't say अथवा ना, va we just say. So yoga rato va, bhoga rato va. Yoga ratah अथवा भोग रतः, संग रतः अथवा संग विहीनः. or reveling yoga rataha means one who's reveling. Rataha, Ramati. Bhagavad Gita uses the word Ramati and all a lot. From that came the word Rama, isn't it? There are people who has the word Rama, no? Not Rama, Rama கிடையாது. இங்கிலீஷ்ல எழுதும்போது RAMA ராமாவும் அப்படிதான் முடிக்கணும். ரமாவும் RAMA only, isn't it? அதை சொல்லிதான் we have to understand. இல்லையா Rama or Rama. There is lot of people here who has this name Rama. Reveling. Reveling means who is in that lane. Okay. Rataha. How do you understand this Rataha? How to understand this Rataha? Look at Nataraja's dance. That is reveling. Look at that Ananda Tandava of Nataraja. You have seen how he is dancing, no? Have you seen how Nataraja dances? Even Michael Jackson can't dance like that, isn't it? Even Michael Jackson break also, he can't even break like how Nataraja is breaking, isn't it? One hand, one leg here, one leg on top, the hair flowing in all directions. What a dance he is doing. That is Rataha. That kind of enjoyment in yoga or in bhoga. With company or without company. That kind of bliss he is having. Who? Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. One who is his chitta is established in Brahman. Nandati eva. He is happy. அவர் ஒருத்தரால தான் ஹாப்பியா இருக்க முடியும்னு அர்த்தம். He can be happy. He is happy. He is the only person who can be happy. அதுதான் eva. Eva means he alone. அங்க ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் கேட்டகரி போடுவாங்க. He alone. He is happy. He alone can be happy. Who is that he alone can be happy? Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. Who is fully established in Brahman. That person who is fully established in Brahman lives life like any one of us. That person who is fully established in Brahman lives like life any one of us. When that person is living life like any one of us, how that person will live life? Yoga and bhoga. Sometimes it will be a life of yoga. Sometimes it will be a life of bhoga. Life of bhoga na Diwali vechukonga. Understand it as. Life of yoga na Ekadashi. நமக்கு 365 days Diwali தான் we want, isn't it? We don't want not even one meal of Ekadashi we don't want, and we want 365 days of Diwali only. So yoga or bhoga means in life sometimes you will be in an environment of enjoyment, sometimes you will be in an environment of yoga or bhoga. Whether in yoga or bhoga, this person his internal state is like Nataraja's dance. Internally he is so happy irrespective of yoga or in bhoga. Okay. In the ordinary person's case, what happens? The ordinary person case, when you are in bhoga, you will feel very guilty that you are in bhoga. And then in order to get over the guilt of bhoga, you will get into yoga. And then when you get into yoga, that yoga will be very frustrating and you will get back to bhoga. This is the life of an ordinary person. It means what? When you are in yoga also, you are not happy. When you are in bhoga also, you are not happy. Are you able to follow the difference? Again, I repeat. In the case of an ordinary person, when they are in bhoga means enjoyment. They'll feel very guilty. Oh. And that guilt itself will make them do yoga. And then yoga is very suffocating and frustrating because it's not pleasant. So the yoga, when you are in yoga, you are preparing yourself to go into bhoga. When you are in bhoga, you are preparing yourself to go into bhoga because you are split, you are divided. Who is this wise person? Who is this enlightened person? Who is this man of perfection? When he is in yoga, he is in yoga completely. When he is in bhoga, he is in bhoga completely. Are you able to follow? When he is fasting, he is so joyfully fasting. When he is feasting, he is so joyfully feasting. That is called yogaratova bhogaratova. Are you able to follow? Again, when he is feasting, he is so joyfully feasting. When he is fasting, he is so joyfully fasting. What gives him the capacity to do that? He doesn't have value for both. He understands that life will put you in a situation of fasting, you have to fast. Life will put you in a situation of feasting, you have to feast. Since he doesn't have attachment to one and aversion to another, he can enjoy both. Are you able to understand now? Since he doesn't have attachment to one, since a ordinary person will have attachment to one and aversion to another, you can never enjoy anything. This is called raga dvesha suffering. This is called suffering because of raga and dvesha. This person doesn't have an attachment to feasting nor an aversion to fasting. It means what? He has disciplined himself. He has lived this life of what? He is not resisting the life of opposites. He is not resisting profit and loss. Are you able to follow? He is not resisting the opposites. He is not fighting the opposites. He doesn't have a problem in encountering the opposites. A person who doesn't have fear of encountering the opposite is a blissful person. Who's a spiritual person? A spiritual person is one who is not afraid of encountering the pairs of opposites. Otherwise, tremendous fear. So what is the tremendous fear of encountering the opposite? Hospital பயமா இருக்குது சார், isn't it? Hospital, doctor itself means fear, because you are not able to, you are not bold enough to accept both are an essential integral aspect of life. Therefore, what is an essential integral aspect of life? Pairs of opposites. A spiritual person is one who doesn't have fear of encountering, the pairs of opposites. Profit and loss, blissful. Birth and death, blissful. Honor and dishonor, blissful. Why? Because he has gotten this maturity. How he gotten this maturity, we have studied already. Dharma, tapas, etc. How he gotten this maturity, we know that already. By that dharmic life, this tapas, this tapas life, etc. and all that. Another example that he's giving is reveling sangha rataha sangha vihinaha. Yoga and bhoga in relation to the senses. Sangha in relation to emotional problems. I have a relationship problem, sir. Sangha rataha. With some, I want to go and stick like a glue. Sangha vihinaha. With some, I want to run away from. Isn't it? Some company I want to be in always. Some company I want to run away. This person with company or without company means what? He doesn't have raga dvesha again in relation to relationships. Are you able to follow? No raga dvesha in relation to the senses and the external events. No relation to the no raga dvesha in relation to objects and beings. No raga dvesha in relation to objects and beings. Because this person has this freedom, He is happy. He is happy. He alone is qualified to be happy. Otherwise, again, we always have this problem. No. What is the problem of Sangha? Some company we like, some company we like, and some company we dislike. The company that I liked at one point of time, aversion I have to the same company at another point in time. I will follow. When I was longing for a company at one point of time, I'm having extreme longing at one point of time for a company and extreme aversion to the same company at another point in time. Sangarataha Sanga Ihinaha. With company or without company. Are you able to follow? With company or without company means what? As long as you are in the Sharira, you will be amidst company. You will be amidst company. And when you are amidst company, you can be blissful or you can be miserable. But you can't avoid one thing you can't avoid. What? Company, isn't it? One thing you cannot avoid is where ignorance make a mistake. Ignorance make a mistake of depending on the opposites for its stability. Are you able to follow? What is ignorance? Ignorance means depending on the pairs of opposites for internal stability. That internal stability can never come from anything that is unstable by itself. We have seen this any number of times. What is the nature of the world? What is the nature of the world? Uncontrollable, unpredictable, unsustainable, unreliable is the nature of the world. Okay, correct? What is the nature of your mind? What is the nature of your mind? What is the nature of your mind? Same. Uncontrollable, unpredictable, unreliable, unsustainable. Now, look at the package. You have these four factors in you as the mind. The world is there with these four factors. When these come in contact, what will be the quality of relationship? What will be the quality of that relationship? Very happy, sir. Very happy. Yeah. Uncontrollable plus uncontrollable will be very happy. Unsustainable plus unsustainable will be very sustainable. Unpredictable plus unpredictable is very predictable. How is it possible? You follow? Therefore, the wise one understands this and transcends this. In understanding, you will transcend automatically. That's no problem. When you understand it, you will automatically, isn't it? The Acharya gave a beautiful example long back. He said, it's like holding on to the rails in Haridwar and dipping in Ganges. You don't know swimming. Even if you know how to swim, you can't swim there. You know that, no? Even if you know swimming and all, you can't swim in Ganges, in Haridwar, because the flow will just sweep you away, isn't it? So how do you bathe there? That's why they put rails. They put the steps and there will be the iron chains. And there'll be so what do you do? First you hold on to the rails and then dip. Holding on to the rails is tapas, dharma. That rail represents tapas, dharma. You firmly hold on to it and then place your feet in the torrential water. You will not be swept away. Straight away, you keep your feet there, you will be swept away. And when you are swept away, you come back and complain. What? You will be swept away completely. And then you come back and complain. What? I got cheated. I was misguided. I got cheated. Before marriage, different person, sir. After marriage, different person, sir. ஒரே பர்சன் தான் பிஃபோர் மேரேஜ் அண்ட் ஆஃப்டர் மேரேஜ். வேர் no change happened, isn't it? Why? You went in without holding on to the you went into the Ganges without holding on to the rails, isn't it? Soumitra, it was so nice sitting and having idli in that on the banks, no? Isn't it? Because we both were sitting there and having nice idli, I think. I don't know what we some idli breakfast we were having. You look down, the river is, you look down, it's flowing. Flowing. You are safe. Why? Because you didn't. If you want to go there, you have to hold the rails. That holding the rails gives you the stability. Hold on to that one thing that is stable, then you will be stable. If you are holding on to that which by nature is unstable, you will be unstable. If you hold on to that which is unstable, you will be unstable. So you have to hold on to that which is stable. What is stable? Brahman. In the language of intellect, it is called Brahman. In the language of devotion, it's called God. In the language of karma, it is called dharma. In the language of karma yoga, we call it as dharma. In the language of bhakti, we call it as God. In the language of jnanam, the intellect, we call it as Brahman. All are one and the same. Dharma, God, Brahman, all are synonymous depending upon which instrument you are looking from, depending upon which instrument you are coming from. If you are coming from the angle of mind, the devotion, the bhakti, the emotion, you will call it as God. You will call it as God. If you are coming from the angle of action, karma, you will call it as dharma, the law. If you are coming from jnanam, the intellect, you call it as Brahman. But there is one thing that is stable. What is it that is stable? The dharma, the God, the Brahman. Hold on to that. Hold on to that Brahman. Hold on to that chain that is God. Hold on to that chain that is dharma. The flow of the Ganges becomes enjoyable. The flow of the Ganges becomes so enjoyable there, isn't it? It's so enjoyable because you are holding, because you have already gotten a stability. Yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihinaha. This is one meaning to the word yoga and bhoga. Sanga and sangavihinaha. Bhoga means grihastha ashrama. Yoga means sannyasa ashrama. The path of pravritti and nivritti. Another meaning to it. You can be in any ashrama, your focus should be on Brahman. Another meaning to yoga and bhoga is, from one angle, yoga means sannyasa ashrama, the nivritti marga. Another is pravritti marga. Pravritti means you do something. Nivritti means you let go. Sannyasa and grihastha. Jnana yogena sankhyana, karma yogena yoginam. Isavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitam magrida kasyasvidhanam. Kuruvanneveha karmani shajivishe shatakam samaha. There are two paths. There are two lifestyles. There are not two paths, there are two lifestyles. So you can take up to the lifestyle of apparent yoga, or you can take up to the lifestyle of apparent bhoga. That's where you find the Grihastha Ashrama people are all looking joyful and happy, while the sannyasis looks very, very sad and sorrow, isn't it? Sannyasis have to be very sad and sorrow. Why? Because now that they are a sannyasi, they can't watch a movie, they can't eat anything, they can't do anything. Grihastha they can do anything and everything. He says, you can be in yoga, you can be in bhoga. The lifestyle doesn't make a difference. Otherwise, in the spiritual path, we make a mistake of a lifestyle. In the spiritual life, we always make a mistake of a specific lifestyle, a specific environment. Specific environment, specific lifestyle, isn't it necessary? He says, no. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihinaha. A specific lifestyle is not a faster method. Otherwise, people believe a specific lifestyle is a faster method. It's so easy, sir, because when you are young only you gotten into it. No, it's so easy. I said, who told you it is easy when it was young? You only assume that it is, you only think it is easy. It is not at all easy. At young or yeah, young also it's not easy. So easy if you have gotten it at a very young age, you know. Now it is difficult, sir, because I came in at a wrong time. Huh? All that we are still complaining. What? I will not follow the spiritual path. I have a legitimate reason for not following the spiritual path. It is easy for you because don't think you are great and all. Yeah. Don't think that you are so great because you got it at a very young age. You just cruised, you went. Look at us. We are in Inga who is superior? Soumitra. What a competition everywhere. Huh? Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, Tangaratova, Tangavihinaha. The lifestyle doesn't make a the lifestyle doesn't make a difference. The lifestyle doesn't make a difference. You follow? The lifestyle doesn't make any the lifestyle doesn't make any difference. Meaning, at this level, if you have to live this lifestyle, live this lifestyle. Focus on dharma. If you have to live that life of yoga, live that lifestyle, focus on that dharma. Yoga ratova, bhoga ratova, you can be in this lifestyle or you can be in that lifestyle. If your thoughts is not stabilized on Brahman, God, dharma, you will be unhappy, you will be unhappy, you will be unhappy. You can live a yoga lifestyle and your thought is not established in dharma, you will be in misery. You will be unhappy, unhappy, unhappy. Isn't it? If the spiritual person is also unhappy, now where will you go? You are in misery, you come to a spiritual person and you find the spiritual person in greater misery than you. Now, what will you do? You feel wrong that you are doing something wrong and you come to a spiritual person and you find the spiritual person more adharmic. Now, what will you do? What will you do now? Anandagiri Bhaja Govindam says it very beautifully. All this problem is because you are getting carried away by assuming a specific lifestyle is superior. A specific lifestyle is superior, a specific place is superior. When you are young, it is easy. When you are old, it is not possible. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to be peaceful, your mind should have stability. Carefully follow the sequence. If you want to be peaceful, your mind must be stable. For the mind to be stable, the mind should hold on to something that is stable. Again, for you to be peaceful, mind should have stability. For the mind to be stable, mind should hold on to something that is inherently, intrinsically stable. If something is inherently, intrinsically stable, that will give you stability. And when you have that stability, yogaratova, bhogaratova, you will be happy, happy, indeed happy. In creation, in the entire creation, there is nothing that is designed to be stable. In the entire creation, everything is designed to be changing. Remember that. This is Vairagya. The entire creation is designed to change. It's the law of creation. The law of creation is everything should change. That's why I keep saying, no, the person loving you yesterday need not love you today. The person loving you yesterday need not love you today. The problem is what? The person loving me yesterday, I put a condition that they should love me today and forever. It is against creation. It's against the law of creation. It's like saying very heavy rains and the place is fully dry, sir. Is it possible? இங்க நல்ல மழை பெஞ்சுன்னு இருக்கு இல்லையா, இட்ஸ் ரெய்னிங் அன்யூஸ்வலி. இங்கெல்லாம் ரெயின்ஸ் வில் கம் பயமுறுத்தினே இருப்பாங்க. ரெயின்ஸ் வில் கம் அண்ட் நோ ரெயின்ஸ் வில் கம். நவ் இட் இஸ் ரெய்னிங். The city is full of rains and very dry, sir. Is it possible? If it rains, it will get wet. Is the law. That's the law of creation. But the mind has its own, the mind has a weird expectation. What is a weird expectation? It has to function against the law. Everything must go against the law. What is going against the law? According to its likes and dislikes. Rains should come, at the same time it should be dry. How is it possible? Are you able to follow? This understanding brings about stability. So what is the nature of creation? The nature of creation, the law of creation is everything is designed to change. Everything is designed to change means creation tells you very clearly that which is designed to change. Another way, in one word, what would you call that? That which is designed to change. One word. That which is designed to change. One word. Temporary. That which is designed to change is temporary, and that temporary is unreal. That temporary becomes unreal because it will not exist in the past. It didn't exist in the past. It is not going to exist the same tomorrow. Therefore, this understanding is holding on to Brahman. What is holding on to Brahman means? Holding on to this understanding. What is holding on to this understanding means? Everything in creation is designed to change. If everything in creation is designed to change means it is temporary. Temporary means it will not It won't be there yesterday. It will be here today. Tomorrow, it will not be the same. And if you are dependent on this temporary for your mental stability, is there a possibility of happiness? Is there any possibility for a human being to be happy? The human being can get into some kind of an addiction and temporarily forget it. And the temporary forgetfulness is understood as happiness. Have you ever, I have said this any number of times before, I'm saying it again. All human happiness is derived from temporary forgetfulness. Correct? You go and watch a movie for what? I said this. You go and watch a movie, big screen. Yeah. Your wedding video is shown there. What will happen? What will happen? Rajkumar, what will happen? Our the expert is he only does all the research and expert. What will happen? Rajkumar. Huh? Yeah. Ticket la he goes, buys the ticket, FD, FS, you go there, you stand there, and then you think some movie is going to come, and suddenly your marriage video is shown. What will happen? 3 hours I am going for a movie only to forget it. No. Something I want to forget temporarily for a period of time. That's why I go for a movie. I have a drink in the evening. For what? The drink makes me temporarily forget something. I go to a temple. For what? Temporarily it makes me to forget something. I go on a holiday. For what? It temporarily makes me to forget. So all human happiness is nothing but temporarily forgetting their misery. Anything that makes you to temporarily forget your misery, you will call it as happiness. Is it happiness? No, because at the end of the third hour, where you have to come back? Rajkumar, movie முடிச்சிட்டு எங்க வரணும்? அங்கதான் வரணும். Yeah. And she'll be waiting with the stick in hand. Yeah, she'll be waiting with the cricket bat and hockey stick in hand. Yeah. Where will you go? Isn't it? You have to come back. You go on a holiday. Where will you come back? Where will you come back? Misery only you have to come back. So anything that you temporarily, anything that you can intoxicate yourself temporarily for a while, you have to come back to the reality. Vedanta says, be bold enough. Don't be like a coward, get intoxicated for a while and come back. Don't be a coward, get intoxicated and come back. Have the courage, be bold enough and accept the law of creation. What is accepting the law of creation? Everything is designed to be temporary, changing. Agama payino nityaha na பண்ணணும். Teju. Agama payino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Titiksha. What else to do? What else to do? I say, wow. It is agama payinaha, it is anityaha. They come and go. Agama payino matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha. Tell you what a verse it is. What a beautiful verse. That sparsha. Yes, sparsha. That sparsha is the problem. Sparsha என்ன அர்த்தம்? Contact அர்த்தம். Sparsha அப்படியே rub பண்றதுன்னு அர்த்தம், isn't it? Sparsha means rubbing it, contact. Yeah. Matra sparsha. That sparsha is the problem, Arjuna. The moment that sparsha happens, you are lost. Yeah. That's why we want to touch and hold on. No, tightly we want to hold on, isn't it? Matra sparshastu kaunteya. When you go on sparsha, by nature it is Sita and Ushna. Heat and cold is the nature. So if you go and do sparsha with heat and cold, what will you experience? Heat and cold only. But you will do sparsha with heat and cold and then come back and say what? Heat and cold should not be there, sir. Abdina, can I run away from all that? Can I run away from all that? I said, wherever you want to run, you run away, but don't come to me because I don't know what to do because I am sparsha only. Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha. What else to do? Yeah. Wherever you want to run away, but not definitely me because Matra Sparsha Sugaunteya, Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha, Daha. It will give you Sukham and Dukham because it's created like that. No, what do you do? It's created like that. What do you do? Agama, because it is created Sita and Ushna, Agama Painaha Anityah. Agama Painaha Anityah. Tam Titikshasva Bharata. That's what he's saying here. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihina. This person is able to handle all this. How to manage titiksha? How to handle titiksha? Sparsha will create this. Agama paino nityaha tam titikshasva. This person here is that wise person. What is that wise person here? He knows to hold on to that stable, that rails. He hold on to the rails and dip in the Ganges. He hold on to the rails and dip in the Ganges. If you don't hold on to the rails, you will be swept away. This person is not getting swept away because he is holding on to that firm rail. That firm rail, we have three synonyms. For that firm rail, we have three synonyms. What are the three synonyms? Dharma, God, Brahman. எந்த word வேணா புடிச்சுக்கோங்க, doesn't matter. And the fight will happen. Which is superior word, sir? Dharma is for inferior people. Brahman is for superior people. All three. What is that stable? What is that stable chain? That stable chain is Dharma, God, Brahman. As long as you are holding on to that, you can get into the flowing river and you will not be swept away by the current. You will be happy. You will be happy. You will indeed be happy. Very beautiful verse. One of the famous oft-quoted verses of Bhaja Govindam. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihi yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. With this, we conclude for today.